All right, let's talk about banking and finance. So, you've got a small business or you've got a side hustle. There's a number of things you need to have systems-wise to make it run efficiently. The last thing you want for a side hustle is taking up a ton of your time. The whole point of a side hustle is it should take like an hour or two a day, because initially your income's pretty low from it. So you don't want to waste hours and hours on the part of it you don't like, because you won't like every single part of the business. So, how do I make my side hustle as efficient as possible? Step one, get a business bank account. Separate out your personal money from your side hustle money. The worst thing you can do is end up having one bank account and it's got your random, when you go out for beers on a Friday night, that's in there, and your stock supplies and the income coming in from selling stuff. There's a couple of reasons for this. One is it's confusing when you have to do your tax, and two is you can't measure how well your business is performing, because it looks like you're making a heap of profit, but it's actually got paid by your job and you didn't hit the piss that weekend. Have a separate account running all your expenses so you can clearly see how your business trades. When you're a small side hustle, you can use cash accounting, which is basically just look at your bank account and see if you have money or not. That's fine. There becomes a certain point when you have to make the decision to flip to a bigger business, but for now, just cruise with that. Next point, systematize your business. Every single time someone makes an order or someone asks for your service, it can't just be like panic back there and you're like, oh. You see this a lot with tattooists, beauty therapists, and personal trainers. They're running their entire business through like their Instagram DMs and maybe an email account. It's too confusing, it's too stressful. Your brain can only remember and manage a few things at once. If you want to successfully have relationship, job, hobbies, and a side hustle, you need to remove the cognitive load out of the business. One of my friends, who's quite a good tattooist, he had a similar problem where he was struggling with, he used one bank account, he had a lot of cash, he wasn't structuring it properly. And he kind of got stressed out because he spent all his time trying to triage his work and he couldn't make clear decisions. So try your absolute best to systematize this stuff out. Here's how you do it. 1, don't live your life by email. Get a program like Monday.com or Asana and have projects and times built into it. That then becomes your Bible. If an order comes in or a job comes in, it goes in Asana, it has a little process. The more you can build out that process, the less you have to think about it. And if you expand the business, if you get business partners, if you get employees, if you sell it, you have a system and an asset you can sell. The next step on from this being managed by email thing is to move a majority of your communication that's not legally binding off email. What does this mean? This means if you have partners you're collaborating with, if you have VAs or contractors, get them on a chat platform like Slack. Don't have them sending you emails about every single little point, because you'll lose them, you'll get confused, it'll be ambiguous, you won't respond, and you'll get the anxiety of drowning in email. In my last business, we had 30 staff in 5 different countries, and I probably got 6 emails a day. The rest of the time we ran Slack with different chat channels. If you don't know what Slack is, Google it. It's one of the best efficiency tools you can have in your side hustle. Next step, budget out time. Don't half do everything. Your brain just can't work that way. You end up making shitty decisions. Try to budget out in your diary what you do per day. So for instance, I have a rule that on Saturday mornings after training, I go through and do all the accounts for the business. I organize all the orders on Mondays. I make all the payments on Thursdays. Dispatch it out and structure it. It's far more efficient. The next thing with your side hustle is once you've moved through that phase of testing and figuring it out and you sort of know what you want to do, be ruthless with sticking in that niche. If you're a tattooist who mainly does Japanese stuff and some dude comes and he's like, hey, can you paint my shop in these colors? Don't do it. Stick doing what you're doing. If you become too diversified, you become too much for everyone, and all of a sudden you lose your authenticity.